Kokomo Press Podcast is back, and I'm excited to bring you another wonderful panel. This week, my partner in crime, he is a stand-up comedian. He's one of the funniest guys I know, and my co-host, Brian Allen West, is in the house. And I'm joined by not one, but two guys named Sean. I got Sean Foster, and I got Sean D in the house. Both stand-up comedians, both great guests, both have been on multiple times. So excited to talk about so many things in comedy with them. But before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all the things that we need you to do so that we can be seen and, really boost our algorithm. I appreciate you guys. But today we're going to talk about so much, man. We're going to go back and we're going to talk a little bit about stand-up, including Shane Gillis on SNL, Sydney Sweeney on SNL, and, if SNL is even really worth it nowadays. We talk a little bit about some wacky news involving P. Diddy. Is he the Epstein of the rap scene? We don't really know. He could be. We talk about a ton of other things, including Michael Phelps' Little Swimmers. He's a great swimmer. It makes sense that his little swimmers are great. We talk a little bit about that crazy case in Kokomo about a woman who she posted on TikTok exactly what happened to her, and it's insane to even think that in our small town that happened. We talked about a ton, so make sure you tune in and you're excited about this week's episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast, baby. Woo!
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
What's up? It's the Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm Jordan Grainger, and this week the panel is full. We have a full panel. The panel is full. I'm a doctor. We're getting a full workup, a full panel. Anyway, here today we have the funniest man in the green chair today, Brian Allen West.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for having me. I'm Brian Allen West.
He's like, thanks for always saying I'm funny. He hates it. And in the black chair today, returning,
Sean D.
And in the red chair today, also returning,
Sean Foster.
Sean F. So we've got the whole crew in the house. So you two you guys have had two of the biggest threads on our TikTok ever. You guys know that, right?
No, I didn't.
So I posted a video on TikTok of me, you, Courtney, and Courtney and Michelle talking about the FUPA thing, and that shit fucking rocked. I'm still getting tons of replays and watches from that video. You being you said I can't remember the specific line, but you said one specific line that was so fucking funny that I could not stop laughing. Oh yeah, or something along the lines of once I figure out where the clitoris, I'm gonna focus on trying to find the clitoris first.
Right. Yeah.
And that got a big pop. And then you're of course your story about having sex in McDonald's.
I love that story, dude. I love the nastiness to that story.
When I told that story, I was like, oh great, it's people are liking it, and then the comments started rolling in about how I'm a victim, and now I'm in therapy. We're sponsored by BetterHelp here.
Yeah,
at the Kokomo Press.
And if you're in McDonald's, we're also sponsored by Blue Chew. Get you
Yeah. Love Blue Chew.
Nah, dude, honestly, it's pretty funny because I like putting out the clips, but it's hard sometimes because we have so many random people on, and no offense, but a lot of people don't come in here with the idea of I'm here to be funny. You know what I mean? They're here. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to make the joke, so I always like having people on that.
Well, a lot of people want to come over. They have a cause. They're here. They have something that they want to.
Yeah, like euthanizing dogs and cats or something.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That's a good.
We need it.
I got two in this house. I'm ready to go. Came out this morning to a tiny baby mouse dead. I was like, finally, these bitches are doing their job.
Fuck yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Keep it up. Yeah.
I was like, at least we found it before the kids did.
Look that bitch. Yeah.
Might have turned into fucking Michael Carell or Steve Carell. Michael Scott, Steve Carell from what's that show, Dinner for Schmucks, when he turns all those mice into little people. Remember that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I always think of whenever I see a mouse, I'm always just thinking of it dressed up all elegantly because of fucking Steve Carell in that movie. Fucking Paul Rudd. I love that. You guys remember? What was the first movie you guys saw Paul Rudd in? It's got to be Clueless, right?
Clueless. Yeah.
I was gonna say Clueless. Yeah.
Clueless is the shit. He was so good in that. He looks the exact same now.
Yeah.
We were how old were we? Clueless came out probably
95. Yeah.
Woo. I was 7 or 8.
I really do believe that there's Hollywood vampires, and Johnny Depp's just in a band to taunt it in our faces.
There's definitely a conspiracy theory that he's tied to about him being ageless.
Oh shit! I forgot to pass around the adrenochrome. Anybody? Just kidding. Hey, let me get 2 of those bad boys.
Yeah.
I made a joke with somebody the other night. I think it was. Oh yeah, I went to the studio with K Dot, which was fun. Brought Michelle with me, Michelle Bratcher, who you know, and we were doing like background vocals for a song, and we rode there with your cousin-in-law, I guess. Right?
Cousin-in-law Brad. Shout out Brad Griggs. Shout out Peaceful Kings.
Yeah, they're great guys.
Some good dudes.
They're going to be on the podcast at some point, but we were going on the way there, and we somehow we got into that joke. He was talking about eating something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you want some Adrenochrome?" And then he looked at me like, "Oh shit, that's what you're talking about." And I was like, "Yeah, that's why we're in the studio. I'm supposed to. This is where you get offered. You have to say yes or no, and then from now on, this is how you get famous."
It used to be cocaine, now it's adrenochrome.
Yeah. I take it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Yeah, you just like give me that kid blood.
Give me a concoction of both.
Live forever really fast.
Who has that? Somebody had. Is that you? Is that you have the joke? Somebody had the joke of like a Kokomo cocktail, and it was like it was like meth and something. Somebody said it. I think maybe it was Alex Schaff.
No, I made when I was fucking hosting, which I did not like that at all.
It was a good joke though.
But yeah, but that was like one that got a couple laughs. But it was something about I said Kristen, she's a mixologist.
Yeah.
She's ask her for the Kokomo Classic. It's just a shot of heroin or something like that. It was something like that.
It's funny.
But yeah, I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, that was good though.
Yeah, whatever.
It's hard. You did the first ever, like when you're doing this open mic, which I've hit you up about. I know you've done comedy before, so it's something you've been working. You've been kind of stuck, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been working a lot, but this week I'm kind of free. So
Ooh.
unless life throws something else at me, man.
Yeah.
It's been a fucking week.
Well, message me and I'll throw you on the docket. It's only 5 minutes. We're doing 5-minute sets, but this is we just did week 3, so this will be week 4 of doing it. And the first week, first person to go up on stage, first time ever, you. So like you can't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, but there's protocols that I need to run, and that's one beautiful thing about being able to do a mic every night or every Thursday. And you know, you can say what you want about the crowd and stuff, but I feel like if anything, it's going to give us that push that we're going to be able to host, you know, and stuff like that. It'll be nice, and I'll learn that shit, and I'll learn more, and along the way, and I'll have better nights. Yeah, hosting wise.
Remember when I had my first beer?
Yeah, I've been hosting. I was hosting Goblin games back, and I built this bar.
I built this bar. I had sex right there.
I had sex right there.
Yeah. That was the funniest shit ever. Because I know just to kind of bring people up to speed. There's a comic that comes in there named Dan, and he used to help like manage the Laugh House for him.
Right.
And Brian had told me that he had a joke about, or I was talking to him about how he used to be in this room a lot and had sex in there. And I'm like, bro, I had sex so many times. I lived in that room for a minute. Like I lived down in that room. I had a bed down there. So I used to fuck in there all the time. So to me, I'm like, yeah, me first, bitch. You know what I mean? As, you know, no shade, but I'm like, yeah, me too, bro.
Shout out Dan too, by the way.
Shout out Dan, for coming out. I appreciate it. We've seen a lot of faces that
I love it. Yeah, before. I like it. That's one thing. You know, it's week 3. We're the 3rd weekend. You know, we're going to be the 4th. Come out for that, by the way. That'll be a good show. Yeah. We'll all be on it. I don't know if Sean will. Maybe,
he might.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm hosting.
You're hosting. He's talking about the
other. Fucking hosting.
Yeah. Shout out to Sean for hosting.
You want to run through your monologue real quick?
He's hosting.
My monologue is too dark for us.
Not your inner monologue. Not your inner monologue. But.
If you thought Shane said gay, you'll never imagine.
He uses the F word a lot.
Yeah, the other F word, the one you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Rhymes with baby flies. Anyway, no, I thought it was interesting watching him come out there, and that's one of the first things I like posted was like, the boy said gay and retard on stage. I mean, in context, obviously, and then obviously Doug Vaninsky didn't care. He was gonna say it.
What
We had a random dude come through to the open mic that is like from Boston. I guess he's working in town. Something I don't want to give away too. I don't want to blow up his spot too much. But he came through and he was like, "Hey guys, I'll do a set." And he wrote up, and then he just went up there and did like lines from movies and like
Eddie Murphy jokes.
Eddie Murphy and fucking Hickory Dickory Dock. What's his name? I can't remember.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah. So he just went up there.
Life was,
he did the whole. That's all he did. At one point, he just turned into Joe Pesci. And was like, he's like, "How funny? How am I funny?" And we're like, "What is going on? Is this real?" I was cringe laughing in the corner for like 45 seconds. I was dying. Shelby came in and was like trying to carry me back to the group because I was dying laughing so hard. But then he ended up interrupting a couple sets, and Brian had to, you know.
He was the first heckler, and I thought he was handled pretty well by both Brian and Jeff.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that the other guy did it. Zach Hughes, is that what his name was? Zach Hughes?
Yeah, Zach.
Hughesman, maybe Hughesman. There's a couple of, we've had some great crowds like of comics. I think we've had 6 people from Lafayette.
Yeah.
And then we've had like 4 from Fort Wayne. We've had a few from Indy, and that dude from Cicero was interesting. I liked him.
Yeah, that was an interesting set.
Yeah, so here's a beautiful photo. And then, of course, afterwards, I had to get some food. This stuff was delicious.
It's so good, man. I fucking smash.
I'm telling you, the best decision we ever made was doing an open mic at a place with foods and drinks. 'Cause
Yeah.
we were doing our comedy shows at American Dream, and they've got drinks and stuff, and we love that place. We love Mike. He's come out to like every single week. Came out to the show.
Yeah, Mike's.
He's great.
He's got 5 minutes waiting on him whenever he's ready to. No.
I've known Mike since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I used to live in Marion. Worked at a gas station by my house. We used to go get wasted on a Friday night and go bug him at work.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Get him to smoke weed with us.
Basically,
He would never do it, for the record. Couldn't even on the bus there, Mike. You're a professional.
it was the plot from a Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah,
a
it's
bunch
cool.
of kids
And
showing
then
up.
he was in the Mediocres too, which is like
Yeah.
hands down top 2.
He was in another
bands
big. Was it
out
No
in
Coast?
Indiana.
Is he in No Coast?
Well, he's helping out right now with Norma Jean, or not Norma. I'm an idiot.
Poe.
Who is it? Harley
Poe,
Poe. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm so stupid.
He's also has he
I don't know
he
this
actually has
shit.
his own EP coming out this next week. I think it's coming out.
Yeah,
in
I've been
March.
sharing it on my page.
Yeah.
We'll get. I mean, we can always get a thing for it in the future, but yeah,
It's pretty lit.
Shut
I'm
up to
excited for him.
I liked it. I jammed out to it.
Yeah, I listened to a couple of the tracks. At least one of the ones I listened to some old stuff. I know that, but then he released like one track early or whatever.
Yeah.
I listened to it. It's pretty fun. Reminds me just like old punk rock stories. Old punk rock stories. That's what I like. On acoustic, where they're like, "Fuck it, I guess I don't have the band." Everybody hates each other now. We're all politically incorrect. So. That's what I think ends up happening. Is you're all young, and then somebody's like dates the wrong person's girlfriend. Isn't that the entire plot of like the Bayside versus Taking Back Sunday, or not Bayside, fucking Brand New.
Yeah.
Brand New and Taking Back Sunday were in the same band, and then they ended up fighting each other. Right, and like they
Over
were
a
like
girl.
they ended up doing like a West Coast East Coast beef, like writing songs, like
Yeah.
referencing each other, which is pretty crazy.
How did you, real quick? How did you get into Bayside? Because
All right, so like I like to think like the eras I was in my life made my music like when I was unhappy as like 18 to 30-year-old. I listened to emo music. Like I was a huge, imagine me with the swooped hair, the fucking Chuck Tees and the band shirts every day. That was me. And so I got a Hawthorne Heights CD, and it came with this DVD, this Victory Records DVD. And I had like 4 music videos on it, and one of them was Bayside music video.
Yeah.
And so I was like early, like Bayside's EP, I was listening to Bayside.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you were outside your window with your radio.
Yeah.
I love it. Hawthorne Heights, I remember going to a friend's house and he'd put it on that, and I just remember being like,
Yeah, it wasn't good. Retrospectively, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
But
when you're a kid, you like stuff like that because it's like emotional.
I may be wrong, but like 95% sure Hawthorne Heights is one of the last bands to play CBGBs.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Could be wrong on that. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it was a down year. Clearly, they went out of business right. We're like, oh, all right, we're done with this. Right now. Oh man, I love that. I love my favorite random band around that time that I just fucking love, and I think they're going to be in concert soon. Is Armor for Sleep, and I think we talked about that the other night, right? Is it Bayside, Armor for Sleep, and Finch?
yeah, Finch.
That's crazy. I want to see
Got a
that
Finch
show.
tattoo.
Who?
I got a Finch
yeah,
tattoo.
You do. You got a Finch. That like they kind of straddled like a post-hardcore thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that kind of stuff. I know things will wear. Well, we were talking a little bit about how Bayside, or not Bayside, I keep saying Brand New and Taking Back Sunday had this weird East
Everyone was
Coast.
the same.
They had this East Coast West Coast beef. But you guys hear this new Diddy news?
No, I haven't.
Diddy has been doing dudes for a while.
Which is fine.
There is a gay mafia that's in control of hip hop, and when I die in the next 2 weeks, you'll know that I was right.
So, according to a 73 paper document, Diddy allegedly had sexual relations with a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, which we all know that's Meek Mill, and a singer who performed at the Super Bowl. aka Usher.
Usher.
Yeah, so everybody's putting 2 to 2 together, and there's let me see if I can find it. There's an entire list of people have found. So these are they're calling it the bottom files.
The bottom.
Jesus.
Anyway, it said that Mr. Poppy P. Diddy Puff slept with these rappers, singers, pastors, allegedly. The Game, YKO, Cyrus, Ja Rule, Mace, Usher, Justin Bieber, Rick Ross, French Montana, Meek Mill, Will Smith, Farnsworth Bentley, Christopher Williams. Well, Farnsworth, we all knew that. Little Nas X, which is awesome. Orlando Brown.
Shout out.
Miguel. And then everybody's talking about the matching outfits between Meek Mill and Diddy. So everybody's like, why would they wear matching outfits?
Look, there's
I don't
absolutely
know.
nothing wrong with it, but them two dudes know what each other's penis
I like
taste
Meek
like.
Mill, so I don't want to like.
They absolutely do. They
Oh,
see-
and there's a midget?
yeah.
That's Wee-Man, right?
Fuck.
I was like, I don't
Jason
think so.
Acuna?
They all look the same.
That's Wee-Man.
All white, and they just look the same.
Yeah, I was like, you better clarify.
Yeah, I could better clarify because they're wearing the same outfit. I could be talking. Dang, I almost stepped in it there, didn't I? No, it's just the story is insane. Like it's a wild story. And then apparently if you've been on Twitter at all, Meek Mill went insane because everybody was calling him out, and he's
mean,
like
fuck.
It
posting.
had like
What
a
do you
whole
do?
reaction where
Like-
he never denied it either.
What do you want?
Yeah,
him to
he
do?
never denied it. He was just like, yeah, like at one point, somebody wrote, like he had like a tweet that was like, I love pussy, I love the way pussy feels, pussy's the best. Then somebody wrote, I don't like men's no more, I like women. Women. I was dying, dude. I was like, it's literally the same. I was like, the internet's undefeated with this type
Are
of
you
stuff.
sure it wasn't spelled with a B?
Yeah, right. I'm just like, poor Meek Mill, man. He's just trying to have a good day, And then there was a whole entire thread of like weird things he's done. They're like, he's not a human. Like him doing a backflip was the weirdest shit. Like he
like
landed
the thing.
perfectly footed, and it's like, and it's just a bunch of stuff. They just could not leave him alone.
Did you hear about the whales?
The whales.
There was like
Oh yeah,
big
yeah.
ass whales that they just got on camera fucking.
They
for the
have
first
never
time.
caught They've never caught humpback whales ever procreating ever in the history, and then they finally find 2 of them, and it's a couple fellows just having a good time.
Just a couple of bros having a time,
So does it still count as like? I mean, it's sex, okay? Like because of political correctness, but like we're trying to find out if they're like how they have babies. This is not how they have babies. So did we really?
Well, we need to keep an eye on at least one of them.
Yeah,
I
right.
think you said it yourself the best. It's just 2 pals having a good time.
Yeah, just 2 buddies.
Yeah, it's-
Two buddies
Two
hanging
buddies
dong.
chilling.
I actually heard that they swam right on up into Honey Bear Hollow and we're hanging out with everybody.
I can't wait to go to Honey Bear this
Fill
week.
that hole
Dude,
in your
I have never
soul.
been there, but now I want to go there so much.
If they question anything, I got a rainbow tattooed on me. Be like, no, it's cool.
It's cool. It's cool. Cool. I've got my
Credentials.
Yeah, you're like a fucking Holocaust survivor, but LGBTQ. Like, yeah, I've got my numbers.
I'm definitely like, it's out there. If you guys ever want to do business, Honey Bear,
Yeah, we will. We already did a commercial for them, and it was pretty sweet.
I want to come out and check out. I want to film the camping experience.
Yeah, right.
Have us all go. We can all go. Fuck it, and
Yeah.
see if we fall in love or
Okay. Brian fucking P Diddy did.
Hey, yeah.
Come like, let's all
boys.
go. out
Yeah. Gaggle you up.
Cast.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on. Can we push his mic in that it's like being a little bit. It's like there we go. I gotta fix that. I think that I've got a couple of these mic cables going out. I just bought 4 more mic cables.
Really?
I bought so many mic cables because of this doing comedy now. Doing it. I'm like,
You're Jordan the cable guy, dude.
yeah, get her done. Yeah, that's one of the first things. Fucking Davey came out. It hasn't come out to the open mics yet. This guy comes up and is like, who's Jordan trying to be Bert Kreischer? And I'm like, dude, I'm chubby. All right. That's the only thing we have in common. Why not a Gabriel Iglesias? You know what I mean? Give me another guy. It was just like a funny. I was like, that's such a weird thing to say.
Was your shirt on or off?
It was on. That's why I was like, so we're both fat. Thank you.
I get, you know what? I get fluffy all the time. They'll be like, when people find out I do comedy, they'll be like, oh yeah, you like fluffy? And it's like, it's the same thing. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm fat. I have a mirror.
Yeah. That's what I was talking to Messi, because Messi Gravis, Jesse he came out and did like 3.5 minutes. He's like, I only have 3 minutes, and I was like, just do it. We need 15 comedians tonight. He went up and did. It was really funny, but he was doing like a Jeff Foxworthy thing, which was really hilarious. But like, you're fat when type of thing. So I threw him a joke. I threw him a joke bone, and was like, I added me and you into the fat mafia because
Yeah.
it's like, well, I'm cool with being called fat. Just don't call me Bert Kreischer, Speaking of the Machine, did you guys hear about this? Machine Gun Kelly decided he's no longer Machine Gun Kelly. He wants to be Machine.
Yeah, and he's blacking himself out.
Yeah, he wants to be a Black Machine. I'm just kidding. What's that? I don't know what he's doing. I think he's got such a weird, bizarre trajectory. You know what I mean?
Typical
I'm not
white
gonna
guy
call
trying
him
to take
that.
the flame from Black History Month.
You're not calling him Machine, yeah, right? Not gonna call him Machine.
Yeah, it reminds me of Jim when he's like, it's actually Andrew. It's not Andy anymore. He's like, I'm gonna call
It's Drew. It's actually Drew.
I'm not gonna call you that. Yeah, it's actually Drew. Yeah, it's
I
Drew.
can't control that. Yeah, it's
Good-
literally
good
the
save,
same.
yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly, his name's Colston Baker, which, come on. You know what I mean? Just go by Colston. I don't know any famous Colstons, do you?
think
I
it's
don't know.
Colson. Is there a T in there?
Colson. Okay, Colson. That's even weirder. Colson?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. He's like, what the fuck am I helping the Avengers? Like, what am I doing, Colson?
Right?
Have you been keeping up on any of this stuff going on? Did you fall out?
Oh no, man, I'm caught up on everything.
Yeah, it's like I always joke around because like this Marvel stuff, this superhero stuff's become like monoculture. Like everybody for a while was into it, and now it's splintered off into like it's just people that like it again. It's kind of what I mean. People will go watch them, but they don't care anymore. And I mean, Madam Web. You hear about? Did you go see it?
No,
No intention of seeing Sony films.
I'll wait till that starts streaming.
Yeah,
I did
I'll
the
watch
same
it
with
when it comes up.
I found out I did the same thing with the one with the three girls. What the fuck is it called? The Marvels. The Marvels.
Yeah, yeah.
I did that. I wish I went and saw it in theaters now. I saw it on Disney Plus. And I was like, this is cool. This is a good movie.
It was a good movie.
It kind of
The
bums me
internet
out.
just sucks sometimes.
I kind of get a little bit of the criticisms, but at the same time, like I've seen worse Marvel films. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was goofy. I like Ms. Marvel, the girl that plays her. She's so fucking likable.
The first fight scene when they're like, spoilers, having like 3 different fights in 3 different locations and they're all switching places.
Yeah.
I had to go back and watch that like 5 times just to make like, is this mathing? It
Yeah,
maths.
yeah.
It maths. It tracks.
And then they kind of use it as the plot device to like train and they learn how to do it together, which is kind of cool. It ended up being a pretty good show. I do understand like they'd have that same villain problem a lot of these have, where like one-dimensional boring villain where you're like, ugh, this is boring. Which apparently
one
that's-
guy that keeps getting away.
Yeah. She's married in real life to Tom Hiddleston, the actress that played.
Yeah.
Which is pretty lit,
That's cool.
Tom Hiddleston's cool. I liked Loki. Did you guys watch Loki at all?
Oh yeah.
I thought that was fucking lit.
I want to say it was it's Tom Hiddleston, Andrew Garfield, somebody else that's also British, and the dude who played Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah.
They all lived together before they were famous. Oh, it was Daredevil, Charlie
Daredevil.
Cox. Yeah.
Charlie Cox was this shit too.
They were all like roommates before they were famous.
Yeah. I watched Echo.
Stephen Hawkins.
The guy who played him.
Stephen Hawkins
It was literally
was
him.
roommates with no. That's all I heard. No, I get it.
They all shared a room on Epstein's Island. That was the crazy news, finding out that he fucking paddled himself out there.
That was such a turning point in life, actually.
It makes you question everything, right?
Yeah, actually, for me, it was after Matt Lauer finding out
Yeah.
like he had like a special lock button at his desk, so like he would trap bitches in there.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But I heard that that's pretty common in those type of offices because they're so far away from the door that they install the button because they're like, people leave their office and they're like, God, I don't want to. All right. But then when you hear that they're a predator and then you find out they're doing it, that takes on a different connotation.
But after that, I was like, I'm not attached to anybody that would be surprised at it anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to be. It's hard to like really care about that type of shit at this point, especially when you have when a woman got arrested after texting a guy 159,000 times after their first date.
Oh shit.
Those eyes tell the story. They tell the story.
Yeah, they do.
So the limit's 159.
I just wanted to make sure. No, for women. For men, it's way higher because they know we're worse.
Well, she got some bomb ass D on the
Oh,
first
for
date
sure.
too, so that's another reason why she's.
I
they
want to see the guy.
Yeah, right. What's he look like? Just a regular Joe Schmo. It's Bert Kreischer. Just a guy that looks like Bert Kreischer.
Plays
hanging out.
Magic on the weekends.
And she's obsessed. No, I heard they tried to arrest her 4 times, but every time the cop, she was like, "I'll give you a blowjob." All right. Those eyes tell you a story. I love it so much, man. I love stories like that because they make me feel so sane. You know what I mean? It's like you text a girl 5 times and you're like, I'm insane. What did I do? And this girl 159,000 times, dude.
Imagine that in the time when it was like 10 cents a text message.
She made some people very, very rich.
Yeah.
That was the case.
There's been a lot of crazy shit that's happened this last week, including I saw this. This is a funny ass story. A mother loses her $800,000 disability case after photos of her winning tree throwing contest surface. This lady was like, "I'm disabled."
That's got to be the most unique way to get caught.
I know, right? I'm like, damn.
Is this
Dude,
you
that's
throwing
cool.
a tree? It sounds AI.
It does. It's the most.
Check her fingers. Make sure she has 5.
She still had the pine needles. In
Yeah.
there. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, we lost a great one this week. Rest in peace, Jacob Rothschild.
Jesus.
Somebody posted this and I was dying because nobody feels like rest in peace to this guy. In loving memory of
Family man, farmer.
philanthropist, family
Crops.
Yeah. Well, he owns like a lot of the food supply, isn't that like the concept? You got the planted hat on, you know.
Yeah, shout out to Weed Store in Michigan.
Hell yeah. I wondered. For a while there, I kept for my brain not knowing what it is. Was like, is that plant hers? I'm like, this guy loves nuts, dude.
His monocle's out in his car.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I was just in my head, all I could think of is like he's like, I got enough box tops. I can fucking send them in and get this hat. Remember back in the day when our parents used to smoke cigarettes just to get like Marlboro gear? Like,
I have a whole ass
dude.
guitar from Marlboro Mine.
fuck yeah,
Yeah. Acoustic. I've had it since I was like 12.
that's awesome.
We're on food stamps, so I got caramel stuff.
Yeah,
Or camel. Sorry, I said caramel.
camel. Yeah, they wanted to die quicker. They're like, get me out of here, get me out of here as quick as possible. You ever hear a story about somebody living your dream?
Mm-hmm.
This popped up the other day. Chinese mom pays Australian man $10 million to marry her daughter.
Oh, and she's not even bad looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like a happy couple.
Yeah, like she's not ugly. She got some cheeks on her, but you know, in the wrong place.
I have the funniest feeling she obeys.
It says Nick was sitting at the park when Sarah Cho approached him and invited him over for drinks. Nick was surprised that Sarah lived in a mansion and found out her dad was a member of the Chinese Communist Party. A couple months into the relationship, Sarah's mom shockingly paid Nick $10 million to marry her daughter if he promised to have kids. They were like, we want this jawline, his blonde hair, this blue eyes.
Beautiful looking man.
He's a fucking stud. He's a specimen, you know.
Aryan poster child.
Yeah, right. It's just funny. It's like, how are you a communist and have 10 million?
Well, it is most definitely other people's money.
Yeah, it's the bourgeoisie
all
or
good,
whatever.
though.
Like it is.
Yeah.
I love it so much, man. I'm imagining, you know, you're just like he's just hanging out on the beach one day, like hey, or sitting in a park one day, and it's like, hey, you 10 million, marry my daughter, please. And I'm like, oh, yeah, dude. Listen, dude, I'm trying to get shanked right now.
Yeah,
Trying to get SNL.
Yeah.
I'm
Do
trying to
that
get
voice again.
Hey, it's $10. No, I was watching that clip. Do you ever watch the clip? They
Oh,
say,
yeah.
when they say noodles. Oh my god, noodles. I don't even care. It's so funny. Noodles. Anytime they say it. I went back and watched that episode because, like, you know, I spent a week fucking just defending his honor like I'm married to him or something. Because I'm like, no, it was funny, and they're like, no, it was this, and I'm like,
So funny.
I died laughing. I was like, first I was telling people, I'm like, yeah, if he's dying in the room, that's fine. I'm at home watching it, dying at home, like I'm loving it. So people aren't loving it in the room. And then somebody had said at some point, like, oh, but he acknowledged he wasn't funny in the moment. I was like, no, he acknowledged people weren't laughing. He was trying to soften a hard room. I was like, if you've ever done comedy or been around comics, people do it all the
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Dude, like half my set is me being like, yeah, so that joke was about this, and I fucked it up, and then I get a laugh from that. You know what I mean? Just being real with the audience is fun sometimes. Just telling people all that. Did you guys ever hear the saying, "You are what you eat"?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, biodiversity of gut bacteria is associated with sexual behavior.
Oh shit.
So basically, I read a little bit of the article, and what it said was, you're not smart enough to understand this. No, I'm just kidding. What it said was, apparently, if you eat bad foods, it actually hurts. It like affects negatively your sex drive. So like, which we kind of know anyway, right? It affects your hormone production. It affects like testosterone. You have to buy more Blue Chew.
It's the weirdest thing when I have 5 guys. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
You've had 5 guys enough.
So what you're saying is eating ass is why I talk like this?
Yeah. It's why I can't remember anybody's name. I'm like, I should not. Do you guys ever hear that story, Mark Norman, about eating ass and then getting like a parasite?
Dude, yeah.
It's the craziest story I've ever heard.
He's wild. I didn't know that. You look at him, you think he's like, oh, this is a mild looking guy. And then,
Yeah. He looks like he would, like he, like a good old boy back in the day. Like, oh, gee, look.
Yeah.
But really,
he's a dirtball.
He's eating ass and fucking his teachers and
having sex in German sex clubs and stuff. Yeah.
And he got married, He fucked it all up.
I was telling Brian last week. I was watching.
This mic does not like you.
Yeah, I was watching old Mark Norman YouTube clips, and I saw what I think is the best one-liner of all time.
Yeah.
I don't understand why conservatives hate abortion clinics so much.
Yeah.
They're killing it.
I like it.
It was good.
He's got one of my funny, like Louis C.K. has the best like pedophile joke of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he did that on SNL. That's why it was so fucking good. Him going out there and be like, I love a chocolate bar, but like, I wouldn't fucking go to jail for it. And he's like, they must really love it. And then Mark Norman has my second favorite, which is like a joke about like, when I was a kid, I liked grape juice. And then when I was adult, I liked wine. I still like grape juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just dodged the bullet. Like, you know what I mean? What if you just accidentally still liked grape juice too much? You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck. I like that kind of stuff.
In the shower the other day, because CVS and Walgreens are going to start selling that abortion pill now,
Yeah.
Which is like a great thing if you're into women's rights and everything.
Yeah.
But even better if you're into dead babies.
I just love it because we can just like people. The future, we're all gonna go to fucking prison for. They're gonna be like, you slipped her a pill. It's like, no, it's the abortion pill. I'm not Cosby. It was my pill. I made a choice, and I was my choice. Oh man, I feel like it sucks because like the only way to really fix that problem is to literally get the state involved immediately. Like imagine you have sex with a woman for the first time. Yeah, there's an issue. I know it's like it's been so long. And then you finish, and then like you're like, fuck, the condom broke, right? Immediately, and you're like, hey, are you on birth control? She's like, no, I don't believe in it. And you're like, are you down with getting the morning after pill? She's like, no, I don't believe in it. And you're like, are you cool with this? No, I don't believe in it. So finally, you're like, all right, well, you'll hear from my lawyer. Like, I got to subpoena you now and then we sit in front of the judge, and then you're like, okay, so you make a decision, cast your ballots, and then we'll see if this baby's gonna live. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be funny.
I mean, I think that's the reason for domestic violence.
The only reason. I'm just kidding. So did you used to smoke Kent cigarettes? I know you have that Marlboro guitar. You ever fucked around with Kent cigarettes?
No, I can't say. I mean, probably. Shit, I've smoked so much in my lifetime.
In 1952, claims that smoking caused cancer caused Kent cigarettes to come out with an asbestos filter to protect its smokers. Imagine trying to fix something, making it way worse. I'm like, fuck. I think that's how they built most of our works around here.
That looks rough, dude. It
Can you
looks like some
imagine?
dank weed.
Yeah, doesn't it? They're like, hey man, this shit's got those blue hairs.
Yeah, ramen noodles, yeah.
Yeah. You guys ever touch fiberglass?
Yeah.
It's fucking. It gets in your skin.
Oh
And,
yeah, it's itchy as shit.
It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's in tobacco. Like,
Yeah.
people put it in there and it cuts your gum and gets the nicotine in there quick. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They've found out so many cool ways to make it better. Instead of making the actual tobacco better, they're just like, let's throw some shit in here and see.
Fiberglass.
Fiberglass, asbestos, rat poison.
Yep.
I love those commercials those are the best commercials back in the day. Because like the weed ones are stupid. Everybody knows the weed ones are stupid. But like watching the old commercials where it's like talking about cigarettes are so funny because they're like, it's a guy like on a fucking ventilator, half dead. He's like, I smoked my whole life. I'm fucking dying. I thought I was going to be a cowboy. Now I'm dead. I'm like, I wish I could just be a cowboy.
It's like literally why I started smoking.
Yeah, they got you.
Yeah, jumpstart that whole dying process. Hell yeah.
So I think there's a poltergeist. Creepypasta. His goal is to be on every dinner plate in suburbia.
In a world with endless possibilities, man and noodle will collide, a struggle to remain at the top of the food chain. murder,
He's American pasta. He's worse than I expected.
mayhem,
Why is this happening?
meatballs, knock knock,
Who's there?
fettuccine alfredo.
You guys remember these types of shits back in the day?
Can't believe it. It's my first blind date.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Really?
90s commercials are undefeated.
Woo! You guys meet? Greg, Janice?
We sure did.
Oh, shit.
This is smart, but beeper service for just
Oh,
$1.99. Call 1-800-BEEP-199.
Oh,
Smart
God,
stuff,
dude.
Like directions.
We've got chemistry here. You feel it?
I felt it.
All right, Janice.
Commercials used to be so good back in the day, man.
Damn.
That's better than any Super Bowl commercial I saw this year.
Oh, definitely.
Way
Other than
better.
Deadpool. I'll give Deadpool a nod because that shit was lit.
That was, yeah.
I liked watching that one. I'm just like, I love it because like they would never make a woman the butt of a joke in a commercial nowadays. And that guy would have been black for sure.
Michael Cera one was really good too.
Which one was that one? Tell me about it. Oh yeah, the
Sarah
Sarah
V,
That
yeah.
shit was funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really fucking funny.
And Ben Affleck and Matt Damon killed it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the Dunkin' Donuts shit.
With Touchdown Tommy on the keys.
Uh-huh.
They had some good shit though. You know what they need to do? And they need to bring back that they should have done for football is they should have brought back Tim Robinson doing ba 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 basketball. You know what I'm talking about? That old skit. No, fuck.
I don't remember it.
When he was on SNL, like he barely ever got on screen because he just was mostly a writer. But he was part of the cast for one season, and him and one of the guys I can't remember the dude from Ted Lasso. What the fuck is his name? I'm talking about the guy that plays Ted Lasso. He was,
Jason Sudeikis.
yeah. They were in a thing together, and they were like brothers that were like write songs for shows, and they're like, we're gonna do the NBA countdown or whatever. And they're like, it's like a good song. And they're like, oh, and here's my brother. He actually wrote lyrics, so he's like, ba 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 basketball. Yeah, we're gonna shoot the ball. And it's just such a dumb fucking skit. I love dumb stuff. That's literally what we do half the time anyway.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I sent him a skit idea today, like to our group, just like this, and then you added such a great touch to it. Like that's what I like about doing because you wrote an entire fucking skit for the Christmas thing.
Yeah.
And me
and Brian are writing a skit for next year's Christmas.
already.
Yeah.
You guys got going early.
Yes.
I like that.
You'll see it. You'll see it for sure because we'll need oversight. But yeah, it's gonna be good though.
Yeah. You guys just going to Honey Bear Hollow for the holidays?
That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
It is.
Honey Bear Hollow for the holidays. 2 bears, 1 cub. Yeah.
Fun with all your homies.
Jingle all the way. Yeah.
It's Jingle All the Way too.
Oh hell yeah.
Jingle all my balls.
We gotta get somebody to play Arnold. Who took my doll? You did it. No. I saw white women came up with a new thing called silent walking. It's the new Gen Z trend. Gen Z people have learned how to walk without their phones. That's what it is.
Wow.
Oh my god.
What?
That was just us growing up and having to get around town.
Right.
You didn't have a bike or somebody stole it or you had a flat tire. You're like, I guess I'm walking by myself all day.
Gotta
I might
have
have had
music
like a
when I'm
Walkman
walking,
or
dude.
something, but
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely true. I remember it took forever for them to come up with CD. Remember the unskippable? Like you press this thing and this motherfucker don't skip. Yeah. So you know. But these guys, I guess apparently it's a new trend. It's called silent walking and they have to have a cool name for it. It just means walking without your phone and thinking about your problems.
What the fuck? Yeah.
I don't
Being
get it.
alone, dude, that's insane.
it's called clearing your head.
Yeah, it's just normal. It's like it's funny that it becomes a trend, like a Gen Z trend. They're like, no, seriously, what you do is you don't get on TikTok. No, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Did you just say I have to leave my TikTok up? Yeah, it's like you go walk in nature, but I can't take photos. No, you leave your phone at home.
Just do this.
Let's do this. Can I bring water? No, you can't even fucking bring water. No, shut the fuck up. Quit asking questions. Just go walk.
Go by yourself. Yeah.
It's that thing that grandma's been telling you to do forever. Just go for a walk. Clear your mind. I'm like, this is kind of insane.
I don't like silent walking. I like to have my phone. I like to type and stuff because I always have little ideas or something stupid come up in my head, and I want to have something there. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want the demons seeping in.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Great. I was
if
walking.
I'm alone by myself. Yeah. Oh god.
I was walking by Highland. Now I'm by the playground jerking off again. Here I go. I shouldn't have listened to myself.
It's a good looking dog.
Happens to the best of us.
That's when I write best at. I write best at work when like they're like, oh, they're doing a safety walkthrough, and I'd have to take my headphones off and put on actual earplugs. And I'm just sitting there thinking, and I'm just like, what? And then I start coming up with bits, and I'm just like, ba 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 basketball. No, but I come up with bits in my head at that point. I'm like, yo, then I'm gonna say this, and then and you think about how do you guys typically write?
Me, it's random.
It's really
like somebody will say something, or I'll like be in a conversation with somebody and something will come up. Like the newest joke I wrote was bruh. It's about,
which is fantastic.
It's a good
that joke is so good. Don't change anything.
all right.
I'm trying to. I swear to you, I've even listened back a few times. It hit hard.
Yeah, it was a good joke. It had a very good crowd audience or reaction.
Yeah.
But so it really, me and my fiance were into it, and she called me Sean, and I was like, don't call me by my government name, just call me what the kids call me. And I'm not gonna tell the
whole
joke,
bit.
but
Yeah.
you can
It's
see
so
the joke
fucking
this
good.
Thursday, probably.
Yeah, come down. Yeah, that one and the pharmacy joke was really because I think you had sent that to the group, right?
Yeah.
Or you had brought
I
it up.
typically send Brian or you or a
Yeah.
combination. Like I that's what I like about our friendship is
Yeah.
like all of the creative stuff we do, we tend to like do it together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's important. That's something that we stressed a long time ago when we started doing stuff like this. If we're going to do something outside of just our page stuff, if we're going to do podcasts, we're going to do skits, we want to include as many people as possible and bring more creatives in. Because last night I was getting shit from Michelle. She was joking around. Like, she's goofing, obviously. But, like, K-Dot was listening for a singer, and we know she can sing, right? It's just another creative person that we work with. So I brought up that she could sing. I played a little bit of Mary Did You Know for him, and he was like, yeah, you should bring her. So I hit her up. She comes with me. We go there. She goes in the booth, and I take a couple pictures of her from the side so she doesn't even know, and then I give them to her at the end, and she's like, I feel like you're my pimp. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, because anytime you do, like, I've like used her name multiple times to other people looking for musicians, and then she ends up doing part of it. It's the same with like modeling or anything that she's done, and she's like, you keep putting my name. And I was like, don't think of it like that. That makes me feel weird. I'm like, just think of it as somebody trying to get you work. You're good. If you're good at something, I want to throw your name out. And it happens with a lot of people. I mean, when we talked about doing open mic, when we talked about doing shows, we talked about you. We talked about, and then, like I said, when it comes to doing this open mic, all I could think about was the fact that I've seen you on stage before. You were fucking funny. And I'm like, I hope you can make it in at some point and work, of course. But
Yeah.
you got to come through a couple times, and then we'll force you into our comic group chat where we just talk a lot of shit about comedy. He's like, no, I'm not showing up.
He'll enjoy it.
You can
Yeah.
always use another group chat.
It's like, there can only be one Sean in here. Just kidding. We got 2 Jordans in there already. Everywhere I go, I got 2 Jordans, which he's been doing great too.
Yeah.
Easily beat
Yeah.
Chuck.
The
Jordan.
Parker scene has been
But
doing
I can easily beat Chuck.
fantastic. We're just starting out. I'm trying to tell him though, like, I know you guys like to do new every week, but I'm like, some of these, the thing that I get from some of these jokes is I've built them.
Oh yeah.
I've done them over and over and over to a point where like now it's a non-thought to me. So I know if I need a laugh, I can just screw my set list. I'm gonna pull this joke out.
Yeah.
And it's a thing that I think he could do because some of these jokes he's got are really good, and then you never hear him again.
Oh yeah, he's gonna keep doing them. He's building his set for this big show we're doing, and I've talked to him and I've talked to you about the fact that like the first 3 weeks I did a lot, like I mixed a lot of old stuff in there too, like updated it, tried to see if I could go from a different angle into it to see if it would work differently, and then at some point you're gonna hear me do a very similar set that I did a couple weeks ago. I just didn't want to do them so close together because there are people that maybe came last week and then they come back next week and they're like, oh, I know this guy already. And that was my only thing. But I will throw one thing out there. I like your old jokes, but your new jokes, I just think you're coming.
Yes.
The one thing about doing the way you're doing it, which is great, I don't think there's anything negative about building up an actual like set. The one thing is I think you're a better writer now than
I
you
was
were when
back
you
then.
wrote those.
I agree.
So your new stuff is fucking phenomenal. And I mean, your old stuff is good too. I've heard it a lot because we've worked together so many times. So but I still think it hits a lot of times. And with your timing, it works. But the new stuff you're writing, it's so fucking it's way more relatable than anything. Like that, the bro joke, the pharmacy joke. I remember when you did the bro joke, I hadn't heard it yet. I looked over at Jordan and he looked at me and we both busted out laughing. because that's like our life, dude.
It was so
like,
good, yeah.
smoking in
Yeah,
the garage
that's where I
is
got
so
it from.
fun.
I have 6 kids too. That's why I told him when he did the Brady Bunch joke, I was like, excuse me, but it's in my contract. I'm the only one allowed to do jokes about having 6 kids. And but yeah, I agree with you. I'm afraid sometimes, like, when you get used to like getting laughs off those jokes, it's like, I got that and I can come in here and do those jokes. But I do agree that I'm getting better at writing.
think you're a better
I'm
writer
really
now.
coming into my voice now of
Yeah.
like I'm millennial dad.
Yeah.
That's
I got 10 minutes of, like, cuz I got some shit coming up, and I got 10 minutes that I know I'm going to do that I've got reactions on, and I know that if they don't hit with that crowd, then they just don't hit at all, because I know they're money jokes. So I've been doing that, and that's like one thing. That's the only, and I tell him all the time, and I've told you before, the only thing about Rough Thing is like when we're doing the Kokomo Press shows, a lot of times we get the same audiences back. So we always feel like that, and it is a gift and a curse, but we always feel like we need to come with something new when we do have them.
Yeah.
Because it's the same crowd, and it's like, but I mean, the open mic helps with that, and then the showcases and other shit that we're gonna do and things like that. But
The open mic
just
does
one
wonders.
of those things. Yeah, the open mic does. The open mic does wonders. It really does. And
It's forced me to write. I think I might have posted that in the group. I'm like, when you have to because like I know as you're saying completely, I'm going to start kind of working other things in that I've already done, and maybe do a mixture set of all the stuff I already did, but do them differently. And one of the things I was literally thinking the other day was like, I've written so much more in this past month than I have in a while, and then on top of it, I'm thinking in bits more. Because we're doing it so much more, I'm at work and I'm like, I start to write something down, and
that's how back in the days when you guys took time to focus on this. That's how I got to the level.
It makes sense. Doing mics is important, and I think one of the problems that we had to deal with for a while, and we talked about this, is that we were doing our sets for the first time in front of an audience ever. We were and there's a part of us that were like, are we making people pay for this? People are paying.
It turned out well, thank God. But no, I agree though. I agree.
Yeah. Nobody really bombed hard any of those shows, which was good.
No.
Which was kind of like our main thing. Like Brockton is a guy who came through and filled in, I think, our first show we ever did. And then he came through to the actual like open mic the first week. And then I had somebody message me and say, oh my God, that dude was so funny.
Yeah, he was very funny.
Yeah.
Brockton, I hope Brockton comes back. Brockton to the mic. And
don't be, if you're watching this, Brockton, don't be scared just because you didn't come to the podcast that day. He probably thinks like that I don't like him, and it's not
a
that
big
I don't
deal.
like it.
No.
It happens. I've had so many people. I had 2 weeks in a row where I had somebody drop off with 20 minutes to spare before the podcast started, and I'm like, that gives me no time to find somebody. Like every time, so I feel like they do understand that I'm a little salty. But the only reason why I gave Brockton any shit was because he was like, I got called into work. And I was like, when? What time? Could you message me before you went?
Right.
Was it just right now? Because if it was just right now, we can. Because you should already be on your way here at this point.
yeah, it's like.
Sorry, I don't mind.
Don't
shit. I mean it with all love because I think he's so funny, and I do want him to come out to more mics. But at the same time, maybe next time when he books with this, he'll be like, I'm showing up.
Yeah, I'll be there.
But we had a good time with Doug. Doug's really great. He fucking closed for us this last week. Doug, you're Dougie Fresh.
Dougie's my mentor, man.
I'm afraid to call him Dougie Fresh now because Dougie V called himself Dougie Fresh too, and I was like, man,
no,
he ruined.
There's only one Dougie Fresh.
Dougie V in the house. Yeah, did you guys? I saw this too. This is randomly. I don't know. Robin Williams. Did you guys know that this is actually a mystery, a celebrity cameo couple? When the scene where the dust hits 2 couples that are kissing and they fly in the air. Do you know who it is?
No clue.
That's it. Julia Roberts and Lyle Lovett.
It's close. It's close, but not really.
No.
George Lucas and Carrie Fisher.
Oh wow!
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
And they're kissing.
Yeah, and they're kissing. Makes you wonder, how much blow did she need to do that?
Right.
Oh man.
Hey.
I'm getting a genie tattoo next Sunday for my birthday.
A genie?
Yeah.
Like
Robin Williams.
Oh,
shit.
nice.
Like literally for him?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah. When he died, I said I was going to do it, and then life happens, and I'm finally
That'll be sick, dude.
trying to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he'd be upset that it took you a minute. You're still doing it.
Yeah. I thought about it really long and hard. I don't think I'm going to regret it.
No. I love that. That was such a fun fucking film.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Smith kind of ruined it.
My Captain. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Captain.
Wrong
my
movie.
Captain.
Yeah. Oh, Captain.
So it's going to be the genie, and it's going to say, "Oh, Captain, my Captain."
They showed us that in school, and it was like one thing that I was like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, I enjoyed it.
Like nothing better than watching a kid kill himself.
Yeah, I don't know why they showed us that.
Who the kid that killed himself was from House. Remember that? It was the guy from House. Wilson, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
I can't remember his name either. For the life of me, I've been bad. I've been so good. I know people from things, but then like lately the names have been horrible. It's that gut microbiome. I'm telling you, it's what it is. I got whatever Wendy Williams had. Did you guys see this thing? She's she for years she talks shit about people. Now she's doing this thing, and then they like pan down to her feet.
Poor thing.
Oh my lord.
God, I was like, that was like an elephant trunk.
Dude.
I was like, she's going through it right now. And a lot of people were like defending her online, and a lot of people were like, no, fuck her. She was treating people like shit for years, and now it's her turn. And I'm like, you know what? That's pretty worse than just hearing words.
She has they say she has what Bruce Willis has too, honestly. Yeah.
What is that? Dementia?
Asphyxia, or like I can't remember the name. It's like where you lose the ability to talk and shit.
Yeah, she's going. Her brain's been
He was also allegedly a dick.
Who? Bruce?
Yeah.
Bruce. And he was on Epstein Island, but come on.
Yeah.
He was just hanging out.
His dick was on Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't believe any of the lists because the lists keep changing. You know what I mean? It's hard to know.
Yeah.
All I know is that there's some people that we know that if a list was put out of people who they partied with, I would be on that fucking list. And it's not like that, dog. Didn't know it. We were tight, but it wasn't. I wasn't that.
You were in Florida too. You were right down there.
Yeah,
right? They'd be like, I saw something faster down there. He pulled his penis out in front of a young lady. She was 24 though.
That'll keep me from getting famous.
The young lady's name was Wendy, and then she decided to do a dynamic Uber-style surge in pricing. Did you guys see this shit?
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
It's just like when Netflix said, we're gonna start charging you if you're not at home, and letting people use your password and shit. Like they're never gonna
stop telling people you're gonna do it and just do it because we're all gonna come for you if you didn't. Apparently, they've already backed off. They decided, hey, we're not going to do that now. I love how they use like the old school Wendy's. Like this is literally like
creepy Wendy's.
That's the type of Wendy's that definitely saw some shit. Look at her eyes. She saw some.
That poor girl.
She went to that island.
That Wendy had segregated dining rooms with the little tin ashtrays.
The Wendy's like, no, you cannot use that bathroom right now. I love that concept. Did you guys hear this story about microplastics? I think I brought this up last week, but
I know about microplastics.
Bro, this is insane, dude. Somebody was freaking out about the cutting boards having microplastics on them, and then I looked it up, and apparently the thing that's actually killing us isn't from like stuff like that, even from the food. It's from tires. Tires give out, I think, what is it? 1,100 and that's the plastic from the cutting board. They're putting out 100 nanometers inside their tiny 1 trillion ultra-fine particles, 1 trillion. So anytime you get in a car and you go out there, 4 tires collectively release 1 trillion ultra-fine particles for every single kilometer, which is half a mile. You drive a half a mile and it's 1 trillion. I didn't know that. I didn't even realize that tires was plastic. I thought it was rubber this whole time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, hashtag.
Yeah. You got my grandfather's rolling in his grave right now hearing that.
I know, right?
Thinks I'm a pussy. Talking about what microplastics from tires.
Well, I mean, to me, like every generation has had something. Like asbestos was like the generation before, and then before that, like lead. Like these motherfuckers used to put lead in their teeth so it would look like Queen Elizabeth. They're like, oh, Queen Elizabeth had rotten teeth.
Kids
I
with
want to
lead
have
paint.
them.
Yeah, for Halloween.
Put it on the face. You look brave, and you just walk around and you just. And it's like, what the fuck? We had no idea we were killing ourselves, and now the way we're killing ourselves is microplastics. And we have the information. We know it, and we're still like, man, I'm going to use that bottle.
It's scary. I spent my teenage years making bongs out of water bottles.
Not good, dude.
I know.
Tin cans.
Well, I spent my teenage years cutting up tires. So that's so crazy, though. I just can't imagine. Do you guys? I mean, we all talked a little bit about the SNL with Shane Gillis, and he's a comedian, so obviously it's more interesting. But did you guys have a chance to see Old Girl on it this week? Looking boobylicious. I'll just say that.
Yeah, they were out. They were out. That's the thing. I'm getting older. And when I see young girls with boobs, like I feel more creepy.
Yeah.
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 Like, put those away. Come on.
Yeah. What are you doing?
But
Put them up.
I'm
Pull
not-
them out or put them
I'm
up.
not all young and rascally anymore.
It's hard, man. It's hard. No, it's a difficult predicament to be in because you went from being like all the young hot girls are your age. And it's like, and now all the young hot girls are like little
my
kids to
age,
you.
yeah.
You're like, that's a little kid. What the hell? It's literally that Mark Norman joke. Like it's like, that's a little kid. Now put them up, sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, have some decency. We're all Christians here. Well, I know, speaking of tires, the new Netflix release that they're going to be working
Hell
with Shane
yeah.
Gillis for tires. Did you guys ever watch I think we talked a little bit about it, right? Did you get to watch the pilot?
I watched it.
You watched
No,
it?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, it was
It's
on.
only like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it was on YouTube for a minute. I don't even know if they
It's on
technically
there
call it.
still.
I don't even know if they technically called it the pilot.
It's a proof of concept, I believe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it's like an actual.
the cum joke. But we're not allowed to talk about cums at work anymore. That's so stupid.
Dude, it's Shane, and it's like it cracks me up because like he's, you know, if you like watch podcasts, you know that Danny McBride's like a big inspiration.
Oh,
He loves
yeah.
Danny McBride, but he reminds me a lot like he has like Kenny Power like features in that tires. He's just such an asshole.
Like a big, gigantic, dumb oaf
Yeah,
that says the worst thing you're supposed
yeah.
to say.
He's the guy you worked with before. Yeah.
Oh man. Anybody here history buffs? I know you are, Sean, right? You're a history buff like I am.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
This popped up the other day, and I was laughing so hard because somebody said the quiet thing out loud. They're like, "This is the most famous rulers of European countries," and somebody said that Germany one is a lie. We know that's not the most famous one. I love it. It's like really cool. Like I think, but that's probably Henry VIII, right? Like, can we even name any of these people? Like Henry VIII, obviously, Napoleon. Those are. I think that's it. That's my European history right
I
there.
don't know any of them.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
I
not a
watched,
clue.
Jafar's up there.
Jafar.
Jafar.
Oh, I do see Jafar.
Yeah.
Is it really Jafar? That's
Arabian Nights, baby.
Arabian Nights.
And isn't that the Quaker Oats guy?
Yeah, right. Somewhere. It's me. That's there's so many fun. Like I don't know half these fucking people, dude. Actually, that's Queen Elizabeth there. That's who it is. That's not even fucking Henry VIII because that's like a whole different country. Yeah, I don't know shit about Northern Europe or Eastern Europe. I literally know only things about like Italy, Germany, France, and maybe United Kingdom. That's it. Like after that, I'm like, I don't know shit. Do they matter? Do you think they know more? Like I was thinking about this the other day because like I've been out. Have any of you guys been out of the country? Like have you guys been somewhere else?
No,
I mean,
never.
I've been to Canada and the Bahamas.
Well, that technically counts.
Canada. Yeah, I've been to Canada too. I forgot.
Yeah, Canada's adjacent. But I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm like, you know, a lot of people I know hate America. That's the only place they've ever been. And I'm like, how do you know you hate it if it's the only place you've ever been? Like, it's a weird concept to say, I hate where I'm at. And I'm like, I get it. But, like, I live in Indiana. I can move, you know, in my hometown. I can move to the other side of the country and think it's going to be great. And it could be way worse. And the whole time, like, I just wish I was back there. A lot of people end up back here. And I was thinking the other day about, I've never seen more racism in my life than when I lived in Italy. Like, way worse than here.
Really?
Like it's not even close. Like, sexism, racism, the whole thing. Like, we had I had a black girl that I worked with, sweetest girl ever. She was tall as hell, like super tall. And we went to the mall one time just hanging out, and the entire time we're there, she's just getting sexually harassed.
Well, there's like,
Damn.
I'm not justifying Italy's racism.
No.
But per capita, there's less black people in Italy than we have here.
Oh, of course.
They weren't like, you know, shipping them in.
They're not multicultural. And actually, you
Right.
would think that, but no, they are coming in, and they're even worse now because all the Somalis and stuff. But like at the time, every black person that they had met, every black person they met was somebody who had an immigrant that wasn't supposed to be in the country or a prostitute. And that's why they treated black women that way. And that's what we found out was like a black American woman, we just see them as a person, whereas to them, they're like, oh, she must be a prostitute. Immediately, that's all they thought. It was crazy. That's why she got sexually harassed all the time, because if you were walking the streets and you saw a black woman, 99% of the time they were prostitutes.
And the coincidence that she was an actual prostitute was just a coincidence.
She prostitutes the United States government. It's a whole different ballgame, you know. But I saw that this video popped up, and I thought this was so interesting. You guys tell me what this is.
Okay, so I lived in France for 5 years, and A, have never heard white people say the N-word so much. Also saw like 3 or 4 cases of blackface. The weirdest instance for me was when one of the first years I was there, I was like an English teaching assistant, and I had a group of students, and we were doing a lesson on the civil rights movement. So I started off by being like, hey, what do you guys know about this from the U.S.? What, do you know anything? And one kid raises his hand and was like, yeah, it's when N-words wanted more rights. Great way to start that lesson off. But after that, I was like, A, we're not saying that. That word is like not allowed in my classroom.
Oh my God, dude.
If at a classroom full of white students, like, if you guys are saying this word, can't stop you outside of this classroom, but this is what it means. This is what it means about you and your beliefs. So after that, for the rest of the school year, whenever the boys from that group saw me in the hallway, it was a chorus of people just shouting
God darn it.
Social justice doesn't translate overseas. That's what I'm trying to tell people. I'm like, they don't have multiculturalism. We're different.
They don't
And
get
Canada's a great example because they're also very multicultural. They're the best country to take people. They assimilate people better, almost than the United States does. Immigrants, anyway. They've done a pretty good job of that. But in Europe, dude, it is the most racist place I've ever been in my life. That's why when I look at people, I'm like, man. And then they think we're super racist because of the George Floyd protests and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's really bad. Police suck to everybody. Really bad to black people. But you couldn't imagine having to deal with the police in Italy if you're a black man. It wouldn't even be close. So I just remember, I was driving in a truck one time with one of the, because truck drivers, you always know they're the worst version of man. Like, we know that. They're like the best, but they're also like the worst version when it comes to like, they're like usually like dudes that are like showering in a fucking gas station.
Oh yeah.
So I'm riding with this guy and he's wearing like 40 pounds of cologne. It's like, that's all I can smell in there. And we're driving and he's just driving. And then all of a sudden he just slows down, rolls his window down and just starts yelling, hey, it don't mind me, fiki $5. Just like basically asking this girl to fuck. And I'm like, you're not gonna fuck her. We're working. You're not gonna stop. And I'm like, that's when I learned. I'm like, man, American men, we don't even know how to massage any well.
Oh,
we gotta learn. They're like in a whole nother league over there. They know what they're doing, dude.
Dude, that's wild. Did she come over?
Yeah, she came over. No, I'm just kidding. No, she was never gonna come over. She didn't even fucking hear him. Probably. He had to say something. The same guy that like we're driving and he's got a fucking screen up of porn the whole time. And I'm like, what is that doing for you, bro?
That's wild.
They're wild.
Keep that adrenaline pumping, dog.
Yeah.
Keep that hog cranked.
He's
Keep the
paying
wheels
attention.
rolling.
Paying attention to the road. Anything happens. Like, yeah. I'm forced to sit next to the guy for an hour and a half trip there and an hour and a half trip back, and he's just watching porn the whole time.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Deep down inside, he wanted to stroke it. He was hoping to God you were cool with it. He's gonna figure out the way to ask.
He's just hoping that I spoke enough Italian that he could be like, "Want to jerk me off?"
You ever heard of Louis C.K.?
Yeah. And they're really big religion fans over there. I saw this shirt.
It's really.
It's like, I need this shit. This is hilarious.
That was something I had to ask my kid. I was like, all right,
What the fuck?
fuck
does
does Riz mean?
Yeah,
What does it mean?
I got some shit
You
on
guys
that
be
too.
rizzing
I
on
was
each
like,
other.
yeah. It's like Riz.
It's too close to jizz.
It
To
is
us, we're
way
like,
too
whoa,
close
this
to
is
jizz.
weird.
Way too close to jizz.
Mm-hmm.
What? Riz.
Riz,
Yeah.
jizz.
Especially like he's got that Riz. Like, yeah, around this time, boys do get that Riz. Yes.
Yeah, you were getting that Riz. You were doing it. Anybody here like sports?
Oh, you know
See the
it.
Keith Strongest. Have you seen the? Did you hear the new news with Caitlin Clark?
No.
Caitlin Clark's the Iowa.
I thought you said, do I like sports?
Yeah, I'm confused.
You son of
At what point in time will we be talking about sports?
Touche. Now, Caitlin Clark, she's now first off, she announced that she's no longer staying in the WNBA. She had another 5th year that they could do because of COVID years. She's not going to stay, which means she's going to be drafted in WNBA this year, which means Indiana Fever. So it's pretty sweet. Then today, this actually just is breaking news recently. Caitlin Clark sets Division I men's and women's scoring mark, passes Pete Maravich's 3,667 for most career points ever. Now, to be fair, Pete Maravich did it without a 3-point line, but whatever. She doesn't shoot at the 3-point line. She shoots at the fucking half court. She's like
That's like LeBron having the record.
40K. Yeah.
Yeah. He played. He's played for 20 some years
21.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that like as soon as he came out of college or high school, they're like, nobody else can do that anymore. You have to go to college first. So like he had a year or two leg up on kids now.
Speaking of LeBron, I have a sports debate question for
Let's
you.
hear it. I love to debate. I'm a master debater.
I know you are. I watch. Do you think that LeBron not being in the dunk contest is ruining the NBA?
I think okay, so my thing is when the new young talented basketball players would come to the league, like Michael Jordan, any of those guys, they would always compete in it because they're new and it's fresh. But I think when LeBron didn't do it, when he came in and was like, nah, I'm not going to do that, he was pissed. He was pissed about the first year he was an all-star. He was very mad about there's something had happened. I can't even remember the story, but there was something that really pissed him off with the media. So like that's one of the reasons why he decided I ain't fucking doing that. And then it became a thing that all the young players are like, I don't want to do that. And then it just became like they're all psyching themselves out. They're afraid to go up there and not win. It's a 3-point contest. You can say you had an off shooting night. If you can't dunk a ball and you're like an NBA basketball player, I mean, Jaylen Brown did it this year, and he sucked.
He wasn't very good at it, but I mean that's the way it was back then, and now ever since LeBron, it's not happening. Like I would love to see John Moran in the dunk contest. I would have loved to seen Pelicans Zion in the dunk contest, but
it's just not going to happen. I also think like we've seen it all. Like you can only do so much when in that. 1.5 seconds?
You can only jump over so many people.
Have you seen the professional dunkers, though? They're doing stuff that you've not seen.
Absolutely. But those guys are very specific. Like, that's all they do. Yeah. They can't shoot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
they spend their whole day making dunks.
I think back in the day, if you saw a dunk contest, you were at like a high school or like like an event, or you watched the NBA. Nowadays, you can go online and you can just see a random dude being like, watch me do a dunk, and watch a combination of people doing dunks for many years. And I think because of that, it's like it's lost its appeal a little bit. But the 3-point contest has always been more fun, in my opinion, because it really is cool watching those guys just chuck. Speaking of chucks. So we talked a little bit about the weird racism over there in Europe. Now, I'm going to show you the weird racism in Asia. You guys ready to see this? This is a theme for you guys. I came across this video.
Me. Let me share for you next one. Thank you everyone. Stay tuned with me. Okay,
they challenge
honey, if you like it, you can take screenshots. They are very good quality and very low price. Thank you everyone. Stay tuned with me. Thank you, my honey. Okay, 54.
That's just an Asian dude with a black guy face on.
Follow my brother Kenya. Are you already follow me?
Oh shit!
Hell no.
That's Kanye West's face. That's Kanye. Oh my god, or Ray J. I don't know which one.
Tell me that's not the weirdest shit. Like you know what I mean? Like what the fuck is this?
So racist, dude.
I'm like scrolling and I'm like, where the hell? So they're trying to sell knockoff Jordans, and they're like, what do we do? I guess we'll just use that fake black person mask and put it on my husband with white Asian hands.
You just disappointed me. I was like, oh, we're gonna talk about sneakers. Finally.
I'm so excited.
Racism.
No, it's racism. It's literal blackface.
Good God.
I saw that. I was like, man, they get away with everything over in the overseas, man. That's crazy. Shane goes up there and makes a gay joke and a couple of other funny jokes. Everybody's flipping out over here. These guys are over here still doing major racism.
I think this is a big hit to stop Asian hate.
Yeah, for real. It's probably why, man. Asians and blacks, they be fighting. They fight a lot.
Order those masks off of Temu.
Do you like comedy? Have you ever done it? Have you ever thought about going up on stage and telling some of those jokes that your family and friends just love to hear? Well, now you have the opportunity. Every Thursday night, starting February 15th at Cooper's Pubs, we are doing an open mic. The Kokomo Press is doing an open mic at Cooper's Pub in the downstairs comedy den. It's going to be awesome. It's going to start at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, February 15th, and we're going to be doing open mic with 10 to 15 spots for each comedian at 5 minutes a spot. Do not hesitate to sign up. Sign-ups will be at 7:30 physically down there in the bar, or if you want to, you can sign up early. All you have to do is message our page at the Kokomo Press. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have drinks and we're going to have food specials, and it's all a part of Cooper's Pub. You just go straight in, and instead of making a right, you make a left, you go downstairs, you make a left, and you're right down there in the comedy den. Myself and Brian Allen West are excited to see you, and we'll also have friends that you may know, like Jordan Bell, a.k.a. Hypocrisy Jones, Sean Dalrymple, a local comedian we love, and even Courtney Richardson. You're going to see us all out there. We're going to be having a blast. And again, it starts February 15th, but after that, it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the comedy den downstairs at Cooper's Pub. Hope to see you there. Somebody, I don't know, I saw this too. I was meant to bring this up earlier and forgot. It said, fun fact, Biggie Smalls wasn't cockeyed. He just knew you had to keep one eye on Diddy at all times.
That's solid.
I guarantee you, that's why Pac and Biggie are dead, is because they were about to out the whole gay Mafia.
Oh, yeah.
Hip-hop and
Well, the concept.
said, no, you are not.
The concept of the. Nuh-uh, no, you're not. He was like, I thought I told him that. We won't stop. We bad boys for life. Well, he let him know we're bad boys. At least he told us. You keep trying. You think every time, like, he was like, I'm getting too hot, I'm going to change my name again. That's what he does.
Yeah, I gotta go to Diddy now.
That was
Sean Combs.
That's the old Kobe joke. That wasn't number 24. That was.
Let's not forget his original name is Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy, yeah.
Yeah.
Puff and Peter Daddy.
Yeah, that's what you call yourself when you want dudes to blow you.
Yeah, I'm the Puff Daddy. Come on in. I actually know that for the longest time there was that joke that like Diddy would get whatever he wanted at MTV. You guys remember that? Because he did like the making of the band, and then he ended up doing like a bunch of different versions. They're like, why does Diddy end up doing all these shows? And now you start to think back on it, and you're like, they're saying he had like cameras planted in his house in every room, so that he was basically Raps Epstein, is what they're saying.
Damn,
it's
dude.
Crazy, right?
You remember the Chappelle Show sketch about making the band?
Dylon.
Did you guys see him in the news recently?
Yeah, he was saying it ruined his career.
He said it ruined his career. The best rapper alive. Dylon.
People say your name for forever now.
And then he's like, you're getting too close, and he chokes.
That's literally my answer for top 5 rappers.
Yeah, it is. It's the only answer. You guys playing video games? Borderlands? Anybody play Borderlands? They got this new movie coming out, and I was looking at this. I was like, wow.
Oh, I did see that, yeah.
Somebody
cool.
say we have Guardian of the Galaxy at home, the retirement home. It was very weird to me that that's the actresses they went to go with. You know what I mean? Because like you would think they'd want some younger people to do like a few of these movies. You know?
But you got...
They're good. They're good actresses.
Curtis,
Yeah. And we all know she had a penis, right? Everybody talks about that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like I was on it. She actually built this complex. I don't know if you guys. Oh, this is the wrong one. Oh, this complex. I saw this and I was like, this is hilarious. Somebody first year architecture school. No, I saw that, and then did you guys hear about the Apple Music drama? Did you hear about this? Yeah, or not Apple Music, the YouTube Music drama. YouTube Music. So there was they decided to go on strike, and they formed a union, and they actually were talking to the board, the city board, about recognizing them and getting help. And as they were talking to the city board, they got word that they had all been fired. Here's
to be supported by the city of Austin and also our allies in the labor community. Give us the motivation to keep this fight going.
Not to interrupt, but they just laid us all off.
Oh.
Yeah, they just laid us all off.
We just all
Our jobs are ended today, effective immediately.
Wow.
I'm sorry your time's expired, but we'll follow up on this.
It's the most city council thing ever. Your time's I'm sorry, your time's expired both here and at your job. Actually, I don't forgot to tell you. I thought this was horrible, man. Alphabet Workers Union. It's like they're trying to do a Google, because YouTube's owned by Google, so it's all, they were trying to unionize, and basically they're just like, well, bye. Which makes you laugh, because when we think about the tech oligarchs and everything that's going on, like the tech companies, they're all super lefty, but like they won't allow a union. So it starts to make you wonder:
Are they really? Yeah.
Are they really what they plan?
You can appear to be anything you want.
That's true. Even a black man, if you're Chinese and you're selling sneakers, you can.
That's right.
Or even if you're Chinese man, you can appear to be a black man. That's fucking crazy.
I need that mask.
Oh man, did you guys hear that insane story this week? I mean, I'm not trying to bring anybody down, but like this guy, did you hear this fucking shit?
Oh yeah,
the lady with the TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Whoa, I'm like, I thought we lived in a small town. Every time I think I live in a small town, something like this happens.
Yeah, they find burnt bones in a dumpster.
Wow, it was insane. Yeah, did you hear about this? The lady, she posted on her TikTok like, "Hey, I've been strangled out 5 times, like to passing out by my landlord. He's trying to kick me out. Please, somebody help me. If I end up dead, it was him." Like she called it, dude.
She said dismembered,
bro.
Fucked up.
Pieces all over Kokomo.
She and then ended up. Yeah, she called it.
Yeah.
It was like he was like,
he was being specific.
Yeah.
What was a love triangle?
Yeah, I heard.
Like the girl that he is with used to date the girl that he killed.
Yeah.
And so they were all staying together in that place, and You take that and then you throw in meth.
Yeah.
Meth and homophobia.
Never mind. It was okay then. I'm just kidding. It's fucking crazy though. It's insane for some, like that's the wildest thing about social media is that she could go on, explain how she's gonna die, even say "help me" at the end of it. That was like it's eerie when you watch it back. I just feel horrible for her family.
It was sad.
I mean, the whole thing is so bizarre, and the fact that she called it. I mean, she literally called game. She was like Kobe. You know what I mean? She knew what was gonna happen to her.
She knew.
I mean it it's true. She called game. She said game's that match.
Everybody said that it was no secret that like that lady had her issues and stuff, but she didn't deserve to die. Obviously,
nobody does. Yeah. I just feel so bad for her family because it's just like that's such a public thing. It's the same with like Karina's family. Like I hated everything that happened with them, everything that happened to Destiny Pittman, everything that Chad Rouse, Destiny. They're still like going up because they thought they caught the people for Destiny and found out that it wasn't true. You know, that was pretty wild. That's brothers. You know what I mean? The whole entire thing. I saw this as well. What do you guys think about this? This was an Ask Reddit. Like, how does sex feel? And this guy was like, physically for a penis, it feels like entering a hot tub and being hugged at the same time, which is a great explainer. And then somebody said, don't you mean for a cylinder? And then he said, so I have to bear this cross forever. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You have to put his dick in a cylinder.
You have to go into a comment section and figure it out. And apparently a long time ago, a year ago at least, how would you get a small cylinder, 5.1 inch length, 4.5 inch girth, unstuck from a mini M&M's tube filled with butter and microwave mashed bananas? Okay, so apparently he can't write it any other subreddits. So then I found that this, I mean, obviously we don't need to have any audio, but this is an entire... how would you get? So it starts there, and then all the comments are like, comment OPs are, your dick, bro. You stuck your dick in M&M tube with butter. It's a cylinder. Every time he's like, it's a fucking cylinder. It's a cylinder. Like over and over. You know what? It's just your dick now, live. It's a cylinder. Urinate if possible. I don't see how urination has anything to do with it. My trap cylinder, but okay. It's not attached yet. It's attached to a larger structure, so there's a weird angle situation. Anything else? It's plastic, but I don't want to risk damaging what's inside. The cylinder, of course. Cut the cylinder free, and then he's like, it's imperative the cylinder and the larger object remain unharmed. And it just goes all the way down to the
bananas microwave.
I'm not comfortable having a knife so close to the cylinder. Cut the tube. Don't want to risk flames coming. And it's just like the whole entire fucking thing. It's just people going back and forth. And it's like, I was like, literally one thing led to this entire thing where I'm like, what happened with this? And I find out all this crazy shit.
As blood flow.
It seems like the cylinder may have expanded and pushed into a lot of the butter was inserted. Like, just so fucking stupid. Have you guys ever fucked anything weird?
I mean,
he's like, yeah, technically.
I jerked off with hot sauce one time when I was a kid.
No.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, it was a dare.
The bro once.
You did what? Oh, you fucked a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah.
Hell
I went first. He went right after me.
That's scary.
Sucked it all up.
I've done that. Yeah, that was a fun one. That's a weird one. You know what I mean? Like, dude, fucking a vacuum cleaner.
It was at a party. It's like a party trick. You know?
Yeah. Somebody was like, you ever watch that movie? What's it called? The scary movie where he's like, don't stab me when I'm cleaning my room. I was like, I wonder if that worked. I was like, oh, it does work, but I'm not going to keep doing this. It was not like a completion thing. It was just like, what's this? Oh, that was weird.
You ever watch Kenny versus Spenny?
No,
I remember Kenny
like
versus Spenny.
2-season prank show or something like that on MTV for a minute. And one of them stuck a bike pump up their ass and like pumped it and then farted it out.
Oh my God.
I don't remember that.
And I watched that. I was like, that is bullshit.
You tried it.
Dennis, give me the bike pump. So I have taken air like right up my ass, and it works. Like you do get like a big bellowy fart out of it.
Yeah,
sounds unhealthy, dude.
Yeah, it like destroys your insides for a second. Yeah.
You've taken something up the ass.
Yeah.
Squeak meal. They're gonna call you squeak meal.
Squeak meal.
But no like fluid or anything came out either. I was pretty surprised by that. I thought it was gonna like flush me out.
Get some clean. Yeah, hell yeah.
You thought you were like getting like a I have my colon clean.
A coloscopy or whatever. No, it's a colonic. Yeah.
Dr. Doolittle. It's not Dr. Doolittle. What's the other one? The Nutty Professor.
Nutty Professor.
I'm gonna have my colon clean. That's nothing but fart jokes back in the day, dude. I love that shit. Yeah, I was trying to figure out the name of this. Like, there's this weird name for like when the government creates like something that is an absolute failure, and I was like, what is it called? And this popped up the other day, and I was like, this is literally it. And it's called Elephant Pass. An elephant pass is when like they create like a design like where you're supposed to go down like go down the stairs and people are like, nah, it's easier for me just to go down this way. So I was thinking about the other day, are there any other weird things you guys can think of that are like to me it's like I've heard weird words that end up affecting that mean something different than what you knew. You know what I'm talking about? Like a weird effect.
Anal.
Yeah, that's that's
God put the vagina right there. It's
Yeah.
perfect, but I don't.
yeah. Every once in a while you're like, it's time.
I gotta go down the yeah.
That's just fucking Dave Attell has that hilarious joke where he's like, "There's another club. It's a dirty, dirty club." It's around back.
I've never been in that club.
No? Oh. Well, you
With
hold on.
women.
With women.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a comedian for you right there. That's why I had that joke about not doing Shelby in the butt and being like, I save anal for the homies. That's for the homies, and guys. Hey, high five. I sent that to Brian. He was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. Yeah,
I liked it.
Your favorite club had a big fight last night. Obsessions Club.
It's not gonna last.
Yeah. Somebody said they heard a certain ghost you like to talk about.
Ghost of blowjob pass. I want it. We need another strip club like the Hugger is just the Hugger. We need something like
Or Kokomo in its prime had
5.
plenty of strip clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And now we have
Little
one.
Guys. We had Tees. We had the Ultimate Place.
Yeah.
We had the Hugger.
I'm writing a bit about that right now. Swear to God.
About what?
About like I grew up in a town. Like I left. I was 19 when I left to go for the Navy. That was my 19th birthday. So I never got a chance to go to strip clubs. But I grew up in a town with 5 strip clubs. And I have like obviously it's set up in different bits, but it like starts like is like the Hugger. It was Divas. It was big. It was Little Daddies. It was Big Daddies. It was Big Daddies 2, Electric Boogaloo. Like there was like multiple ones, and I had like a whole funny thing I wrote about it. And then I'm like, and then I joined the Navy and I get over to Italy, and when you're 18, you can drink there, so you can go to the strip club immediately. So being a guy from a town that's with 50,000 people and 5 strip clubs, 1 for every 10,000 people, I'm like, of course I'm gonna go check it out. But in Europe, they don't have dollars. The euro is coins up until like 10. Like maybe they have a 5, but I can't remember. So like they have $1 and $2. So you have to tip like 5 if you want to do cash. So you go in there and they're like, if you give us your dollars, we'll give you something called spider bucks. They're like fake dollars, like Monopoly dollars that you give them, and then they can. There's like it's like an exchange rate in there. Like, oh, you get one spider buck.
Coins at the bitches.
Yeah, you can whip. So I was like, that's one of the jokes I have is like you can't just like you're just taking eyeballs out. You're just creating pirates. And then the funny thing was, then I get still being a child of the strip club life. Living from Kokomo, I go to Washington State, and the thing about Washington State is the strip clubs are all naked, completely butt naked. Like they don't wear clothes, but there's a 2 feet pole. You're not allowed to get any closer than 2 feet. So now you have dollar bills, but you can't tuck them. Like you're not allowed to tuck. So when you go in there, you exchange dollar bills for poker chips. So I'm right back where I fucking started. Like, so now I'm just throwing coins again. So, but the funny thing is like the poker chips aren't as hard as, coins. So to the whole time you're just trying to like you see she's bending over and you just see her butthole and you're just like Kobe, you know what I mean? You're just trying to get it right in there. That's the whole time. So it's a bit I'm working on, like where I'm like the difference between all these strip clubs. And then at one point it's like I got a lap dance in the club where they're not allowed to be naked and touch, like you're not allowed to touch them while you're naked. So like she's fully clothed the whole time, like giving me a lap dance, and I'm like, what the fucking point?
That's
of this?
gross.
So you want to know what her move was? Want to know what her move was?
Your father must love her.
Blowing air in your crotch. What, just right in my fucking crotch.
Did you get off?
No, it was fucking weird. It was weird as shit.
Tampa's got some pretty bizarre strip club rules.
Yeah.
Because I forget, years ago, Super Bowl was in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Next year it was in Tampa. And when it was in Miami, it was like the night before the Super Bowl, everybody goes out and parties, and a bunch of people got arrested at a titty bar. So NFL's like, well, no, we're pulling out of Florida. And like Tampa's like, no, we can fix this. We'll make it so that the strippers can't touch you. And so there is like there's a rule in the books where you got to be like 6 feet away from all the strippers. You can't touch them.
You're not allowed to touch.
They don't enforce it.
Nobody enforces it.
Right.
Yeah, that's just like in Washington State, it's a huge rule. Like they're really weird about sex there because it's a very sex positive. The Pacific Northwest is very sex positive. Portland or all those places are sex positive. Very pro sex workers. You're allowed to be a sex worker out there. I'm pretty sure. Like it's like not as frowned upon. But like one of the weird things there is like they have the topless coffee bars. So like It's just like if you went to like not Mojo's. What's a good example? Like Lexi's. They have like little drink places where you can get like no soda, just drink place where you get like smoothies and coffees, and you pull up and it's just a girl topless.
Why though? What?
Oh yeah, I've been. They have them in Michigan.
They have them there too. See, that's crazy.
Got a place called like Topless Tuesdays and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wake up to titties.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going through, and then you like, you tip them, and then the girl turned around and she just had a butt plug in her ass, and she was like, "Oh, cool." And I'm just like, hey, no, she winked at me. She winked right back. I'm just like, it's weird because like, this is like we live in a pretty conservative state compared to we're about as conservative as it gets. I mean, even Texas, I would say, is less conservative than we are half the time, and when you think about the fact that we had 5 strip clubs growing up and now we're down to 1, we have got to hold strong to the hip hugger or we're fucking done.
We have to visit. We have to put our money
right
there.
now. After this show, we all have to go and pay our penance to the Lord.
Well, at one point, the open mic was going to be at the hip hugger.
Yeah, we talked about
through.
it.
Yeah,
that bummed me out, man. All I could think of was me instead of holding a mic stand, just holding onto the pole, just going around in a circle, being like, "Why did the chicken grow? They get to the other side," over and over and over again. That'd be fun, though.
It'd be dope.
I think the thing that hurt me the most was when I found out that the actual thing spins. Like they don't spin around the pole spins.
Oh, right, yeah.
Isn't that hurtful when you first find that out? You think that they're so agile. You're like, wow.
It's like when you find out when your favorite actress is really British.
Yeah.
Dude, they're dumb sluts. You think they're going to be able to know? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
And like, how does this work? So what is it? When are you going around in a circle? Like, remember when you're kids and you would be on the thing that you like with spin, have the bigger kids push, and then you get on and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm going to do my life.
Get your stomach all messed up.
Merry-go-round on Merry-wheel or whatever. I used to do that when I was like 5.
Thing was so awesome, dude.
I can't believe what my mom let me get away with at 5. I used to just walk out my back door and go to the park at like 5 or 6. I would never let my kids do that in a trillion years.
I was talking about that the other day too, because it is like kids these days. We're a lot stricter with our kids than our parents were with us. But like I got Life 360. I know where my kid's at, because she ain't leaving without her phone.
Yeah, it's like you always have you can get a hold. I remember one time we lived in there, like we lived in a trailer court up in the north end, not Riley Modern, but there's another one, I think it's like Forest Lodge. We lived right in the front of it by the fucking road there, and then we had the park in the back, and then there was a cornfield. And one day, me and my brother just got lost in the cornfield. We were just out there fucking hanging out. And I remember my mom. Next thing we see is my mom hit the corner with like a search party of like 8 adults, just like, where are these kids? I'm like 6, dude. I moved out of there before I finished 1st grade. That's why when I think back, I'm like, I think I was older in my head, but I was like, oh, bro, I wasn't even done with 1st grade yet. I did half at Howard, and then we moved to Darrell Chapel into the city. But I remember just being absolutely lost in a cornfield, just being like, well, I guess this is where I live. At least there's food, I was like, at least I won't
This is
die
my
of
home
hunger.
now, yeah.
I am a child of the corn. But I just remember a whole group of people find us. My mom grabs me and she hugs me and she's so loving. And we finally get back in the house and she's like, "You motherfucking kids!" It wasn't that bad, but I just remember her being like, "Why would you do this to me?" I'm like, you're the one letting me walk to the park. I used to have fucking straight up fights with kids. That was the crazy. Like we used to fight each other. Like we would meet. Like, I'm gonna meet you after school today at the park, and we would just sticks, bars, anything we could find just to beat each other with. Man, the good old days.
That's how you took care of things.
Those are the good old days.
I remember when UFC like became really popular.
Yeah.
And everybody was in like a UFC club. I was constantly getting the shit beat out of me.
God damn. You're like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, like I don't want to spar with you guys, please.
I don't want to go to your gym and
pounds,
hug each
I'm
other.
Literally 100.
It's just an excuse for guys to hug each other.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bud. I remember one time I was fighting this kid. We were beating each other up, and then like his parents came and picked him up, and he left. And then like 2 minutes later, his parents come back around and they roll down the window and they're like, "Are you guys still need to fight or what?" And I was like, "I'm good. If he's good, good." And the parents were like, "Oh, they were fighting. I got to bring him back so he can keep fighting." I was like, I was 6 years old, bro. Like 6. Can you imagine your kids doing any of this shit? We were much better parents than our parents, right? Like
way better, dude. Way better.
They're like that iPod's rot, their iPads rot in their brain, that phone's rot in their brain. And I'm like, you know what else rot in their brain? Hitting each other with sticks and 6 years old at the park. You know what I mean? Like, God.
Absolutely.
You know what rotted our brains? Sexual assault.
Yeah.
That one babysitter, you remember him? I'm just kidding. We all had him. His Uncle Diddles. I'm just kidding. No, to me, it's like growing up nowadays, I think our kids are so much luckier than we were because they can be insulated indoors. If they get into something shitty online, you know what I mean? Even then, we have an opportunity to stop it then. Whereas back in the day, we would just leave the house and be gone for like 2 hours, and you didn't know what the fuck your kids were doing. Call and check in. I calling and checking in, bro. There wasn't a phone, Mom, I swear. They got disconnected.
Not only that,
They did not pay their bill.
Yeah, they didn't pay.
You remember like not knowing, like somebody tell you something that's absolute falsehood, and you just have no option but to believe it because we didn't have the internet.
Or if you had a question about something and like your grandpa didn't know, like, well, that's it. I guess I will never know the answer to this question.
Yeah, I guess I gotta go find the Encyclopedia Britannica or what the fuck that shit was called. Nowadays, like I don't even remember the names. Like dictionaries used to be real. Like they used to be something now you just go on your phone and you're like, Google is the dictionary now. Google is our dictionary. Like a search engine.
That's it.
It's crazy, right? And they don't even fucking let their people unionize. It's crazy. There was one other thing I wanted to bring up here that I thought was pretty funny, and I'm like trying to find it. I'm like, where the fuck is? Oh yeah. So we're talking about Kokomo being the town of strip clubs. Well, I saw this and I was like, man, they really take after us. A West Virginia town is holding a candlelight vigil for the local Hooters that is set for demolition. It says a Facebook event shows that on Friday, residents of Kanawha City, West Virginia, will hold a candlelight vigil for their local Hooters restaurant, which is set for demolition. The event's description reads, "Bring your candles and signs, and let's let Hooters in the city know where we will miss it tremendously. We will have chicken wings with traditional Hooters sauce on site and a limited amount of the goat sandwich, the strip cheese." So I'm like, yeah. It's like nice.
Oh,
and they say white people have no culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're totally holding that candlelit vigil for the food.
Yeah, definitely for the chicken. Definitely has nothing to do with anything else. I would actually go for it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
There's worse things to do on what day is that? A Friday night?
One of the most disappointing things in my life was going to the original Hooters in Clearwater.
Yeah.
And it fucking sucked, dude. Like,
yeah.
There was like, I'm sorry, but itty bitty titties.
Yeah.
At a Hooters, like.
Yeah.
I can understand that, like, don't discriminate, but it's the original Hooters.
Yeah, this is the one.
Gotta have the.
Are you from Florida?
I'm from Detroit.
Detroit.
But
yeah, he lived down.
I did some time down in Florida.
I did some time in Florida myself.
I did some time in Michigan. I'm just kidding. I'll go up there and hang out. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm happy. Did you guys hear about Michael Phelps had his fourth kid? That guy really knows how to have little swimmers. You know, 4 kids, man. I'm
Holy
excited.
shit!
And she's a smoke show. She's hot.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah,
she's good for him because he likes to smoke.
Yeah, but
my stoner athlete hero.
Yeah, right. That's true. I remember when that came out, and people were like, "Yeah, you can smoke and be an Olympic athlete," and I'm like, "No."
So it used to be like, if you smoke weed, you'll just melt into your chair, but now it's like you'll become the greatest Olympian of all time.
She kind of looks like Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, I could see
She's
that.
smoking. Yeah.
She looks like Alyssa Milano, but without all the, please give my kids money, even though I'm really rich and going to the Super Bowl. But I remember that people just got mad at her for that. You guys see that shit?
Yeah, she's stupid.
Yeah. Alyssa Milano, more like Melissa. Is it Melissa?
Alyssa.
Dude, I remember, you guys remember when she was on that show with the Power of Three? What's the fuck? Charmed? Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched every episode of Charmed. Yeah.
Was it against your will, or did you like it?
No, I fucking love it.
My mom was obsessed with that show, dude. Like,
Charmed?
Yeah, I would come in and she'd just be. I don't know how people used to do that. Just watch the rerun, like whatever one. Oh, I missed yesterday's. Well, I don't know what happened, but I'll just watch the next one.
Like I loved Shannon Doherty, and then they got rid of her, and I was like, oh well, I love Rose McGowan too. And
yeah, Rose McGowan, man, they all went crazy, didn't they? They kind of all went wild because Alyssa's wild, like that. Rose went wild, man. She went.
I don't think Piper does shit.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen her in anything except Charmed.
She's like the only one that was like normal. Yeah, because Shannon Doherty was like 90210. She has that one eye that's like really high and one eye. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. She got one big eye, one small eye. I call her Biggie Small. Yeah.
Biggie Small.
She's trying to keep that one eye on Diddy too. All right, let's call this, man. I appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out. You guys got anything going on? Anything you want to plug other than the open mic? I know I want to plug.
Yeah, but Thursdays, every Thursday, come to the open mic. We're gonna have a good one for you. Sean fucking D is gonna be hosting.
Oh yeah,
he's already gave me his monologue. It's amazing.
We got one more thing we have to obviously plug too, which is our late St. Patty's Day comedy showcase presented by the Kokomo Press, March 23rd. Doors open at 8 p.m. We're gonna have 6 comics there for you.
Ray Hensley's hilarious.
Ray Hensley's good.
Go Ray.
He's gonna be headlining. Austin Fry's your feature. Julie Heckman's back back for the second time, which is exciting. And then, of course, the three of the boys.
It cracks me up, too, because it looks like that I'm going to be headlining, and I'm absolutely not going to be headlining. But I was like looking at it the other night. I was like taking a shit and looking at it. I was like, dude, it was just cracking me up how it's like I'm in the middle, but no, I'm not. And then you raise the bigger.
Is that a cartoon of Andrew Santino?
That's what no, it's actually if you take Brian and Doug Vininsky, throw them together, that's what you get.
It's me though, right?
Yeah, it's you.
It's like an outline of me.
Yeah.
But I can see the Santino too.
Yeah, you just put red on a guy. That's all it takes. I think it was this picture actually. This is the picture of you that I used to make it.
Look, a little twink.
You
look
do.
Twink there.
You look like you're about to you're about to go to 2 bears 1 cave right now, man.
Like I do.
We're bad friends. No, I'm excited. We have a couple shows coming up, and then of course, we're gonna have more and more showcases, and then every week on Thursday we're gonna be doing our open mic. Doors open at 7. You can sign up early if you're a comedian. If not, 7:30 signups in the building. But if you wait too long, we had somebody waiting on the waiting list last week.
Once we hit 15, we hit 15. So
yeah, because that gets us to 9:30, and I gotta go to work the next day.
Yeah, me too. 6 a.m.
Yeah, me too.
If you need me to get you earlier in the set, let me know.
No, I'm cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I go to other places and I'm home way later.
Yeah. Well, you're hosting this week. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm gonna have a good time.
It'll be a good
first ever non-Kokomo Press host. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Me and Brian didn't think of any funny thing to say. You and Jordan both have great things that you guys can say. I'm the first black host. That's what he said. I'm the first black host. We only had 3 of them, and he's the third one. I'm really breaking barriers here, folks. It's such a good one. And this week you'll be the first non-presser. I think we've got a couple people that have asked to host outside of us 4. I know for a while here, I don't want to keep it us 4. I want to keep it.
You got to get Dougie in there too.
Doug's
definitely.
Messy wants to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it just depends on. I feel like I want to keep this rotation of the 4 of us every 4 weeks, and if somebody can't do it their week, they won't bring somebody else in.
I do have one more announcement I forgot.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm gonna have some merch on outhoushop.com.
Oh hell yeah!
We're doing a t-shirt, Dad's favorite son, and it's gonna be my face in a bong.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! I like that.
I love that joke. It's a good joke.
Yeah, it is.
You got anything to plug?
No, man, I might be up there this Thursday.
I hope you do, man. No pressure. I'm not trying to pressure you or nothing, but it'd be cool to have you come out and do some time. I remember I saw the video that you did when you had went up. I don't know where it was. In Indy somewhere.
Someplace in Beach Grove or whatever.
Yeah, it was good. It was really funny. You told a couple funny stories.
Beach Grove, was it the Comedy Lab?
No, I had those like in 1949 or some shit like that. It was cool.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then there's a couple other comedy clubs that are doing stuff. There's that one in Cicero. I guess I talked to that. You guys know Max Wampler?
Yeah.
He added me, and then we talked a little bit, and he's coming this next week to the.
Yeah, I know him. He's a funny kid.
Yeah, he said. I thought they did an open mic in Cicero, but they don't. They do he does like a monthly showcase. Apparently, he brings comics in, and it's a paid gig. So I think that's pretty cool. So it's been nice to really get a chance to kind of what do you call it, talk to other comedians,
network.
That's the term. Yeah, it's been nice to get. Sorry, there's some
making
green
friends.
substances. Making friends,
making buddies.
It's on Sean's hat. What's going on with me right now? No, but the concept of getting people that we don't know that aren't from our area, and then I want to definitely pay them back. We talked about maybe hitting a couple mics that the people do.
Mafia.
Yeah.
Go to Mafia, maybe go to Fort Wayne if we see them again. Kay Banks added me on Facebook, but I'm like, I haven't heard.
Kay Banks is.
She has a roast. She has roast war after her mic sometimes.
Oh yeah,
love that.
Yeah. I was going to talk to you. Bricky's Comedy Club in Dayton, Ohio is starting their own monthly roast war thing, and they're looking for comics to send in videos. I know we're both interested in roast war, and
well, that's a
a
plan we have. We have a plan for that, right? We talked about this. We'll talk about it off air. Yeah, a concept. I was talking to last night.
Nothing funny about Ohio.
Ohio? You mean Ohio?
Yeah.
Nobody cared about no Ohio. We want to talk about Jesus.
The fuck is a Buckeye?
Yeah. Buckeye State. Anyway, this has been the Kokomo Press Podcast. I am Jordan Grainger.
Brian West.
Sean Foster.
Sorry.
I'm Sean D.
I'm all over the place. This has been the Kokomo Press Podcast. We love you. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hey, you just listened to the Kokomo Press Podcast. We thank you for tuning in. We hope you had a great time. If you did, go ahead and like us, subscribe to us, hit that notification bell, do all the things that help us get seen. Go find us over on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. Like us, follow us there. And if you want to really, really help us out, we now have a new thing called Facebook subscriptions. It's only $4.99 a month, and it helps us build out even more than what we have already. Helps us get more equipment, helps us put money into shows, because we give you comedy shows. We give you guys skits. We give you guys podcasts. We give you guys jokes. And if you want to be a part of a group of people that actually get to talk to us and tell us your input first and get to directly speak to us, and maybe even, help us write some of these jokes, you can be a part of the group. Join that subscriber base. It's only $4.99 a month, and it's not a lot, but it helps us out tremendously. And it's going to give you an opportunity to maybe win some merch here and there. We're going to do a lot of fun things with our subscribers. So please check us out everywhere you can. And if you want to, subscribe to our page. Thanks for listening to this podcast. We love you. Thank you. 2 kisses.